What is failure to Salome?
If my marriage didn't last, and secondly, if I didn't win a swimming race.
How long did your marriage last for?
Just under 60 years.
What?
It was always there. I was never alone. Trust is the most important thing in swimming. I've never thrown a child into the water.
Never?
Never.
What do you say to parents who believe that when you throw them in, that's the best way for them to...
Psychologically, it's not good for them. I've had to deal with children who've been thrown into the water and then they are petrified. I had one child who put his feet on my shoulders and his bum on my head. And he said to me, I'm drowning. I said, where are you? And he looked around and he said, I'm not even in the water.
What gave you the bravery to take those chances?
One day, one of the swimming teachers came to me and she said to me, there's a gala on Saturday. You've got to come to this gala. So I said, I haven't swum in 40 years. I'm not coming. So she said to me, I'm not taking no for an answer. We need a fourth for our relay race and you're coming.
How old were you at this point?
Oh, I hadn't taught for 40 years. I suppose I was about 60, in my 60s. And I swam the 50 and
you broke the record?
Yes. I joined the club and I started swimming competitively. There's something magic about water. I just knew that water was the way to go. I just knew. Water was in my blood.
I cannot tell you how grateful I am, Salome, that you are here.
I'm so happy to be here.
I heard you say to someone who was calling you, you said, I'm in a movie. Have you ever been in a podcast before?
No.
This is your first one?
Yes.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
I think I've heard one or two, but...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm not... No.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do, because this is very different for me, in terms of the people I've had as guests, I thought it would be lovely to hear from a person who has lived years and years and years beyond most of us. So I am super expecting and excited to have this conversation with you. So let's kick it off with an easy question.
Okay.
What is failure to Salome?
When
If you were to explain it.
Failure. If my marriage didn't last,
Yeah.
and secondly, if I didn't win a swimming race, that was failure.
Really?
Yes.
How long did your marriage last for?
Just under 60 years.
What? Just under 60
Yes.
years.
And I went out with him for 5 years before I got
Really?
married. Yes.
So 65, just about.
Yes.
65 years.
Yes.
Wow. And explain a little bit of your life story so that the people watching this podcast can be in your shoes. Who is Salome?
That's quite a hard question. I'm a school teacher. I've swum all my life. I've entered competitions. I met my husband. He was an amazing person. He was always at my side. No matter where I went, he was there to support me. Whatever thing I ever went to do, in competition, school teaching. And then I was there for him. He loved sport. So I used to go and watch rugby and cricket, and I once carried his golf bag around the golf course.
Because you were so in love.
We were
Inseparable.
We were just together. We were just
Yeah.
always together.
Yeah. How old were you when you met him?
No, you can't ask me that question. I met him at my second birthday, my first birthday party. I was 1 and he was 2.
Shut up. Is that true?
That's true.
Tell me more.
His parents and his mother and my mother were friends at school,
Ah, wow.
and they went through school together.
Sure.
And they both landed up in Queenstown in the Eastern Cape at school. My mom-in-law then went to Fort Beaufort across the Katberg. And when my parents were going to get married, my mother-in-law was supposed to come to the wedding. Instead, my husband was born 3 weeks prem. And instead, my mom and dad went to go and visit him for his bris.
What is a bris?
A bris is when you turn 7 days and you have a circumcision.
Okay.
So my mom and dad, instead of on their honeymoon, they went to go and see my husband.
Wow.
Yes, so I've known him. And then we
All
didn't.
your life.
But after that, I knew him. He was around and about, but I only got really to know him when I was at university.
Wow. And then you had children.
Yes.
How many?
3.
Okay. And how many grandchildren do you have now?
I've got 8 grandchildren, and I've got 2 step-grandchildren.
Beautiful. So in your marriage, what was the secret to keep it going for so long? Because I'm asking this because I'm divorced, and I could never quite get beyond the challenges I was facing. And a lot of people, I'm sure even you, faced a lot of challenges. What was it that kept you guys together for so long?
My mother always used to tell me that your children are only lent to you. So do what you can for your children, but never forget your husband. Because when the children get to an age, they're going to leave home and you're going to be left. And if you've spent too much time looking after your children and being there for you have to be there for your children, but you have to be there for your husband, because when the children leave home, then you've got nothing in common with him. She said to me, you always have to consider your husband first.
Yeah. And
Which I did.
Yeah, when the kids left the house, it wasn't a difficult thing for you guys to be on your own.
It was difficult, but we had each other. What we did was we used to go and do things together, always together. Somebody said to me the other day, I never considered you and your husband as 2 people. I always thought of you as one.
How did that make you feel when you were told that?
Wonderful.
Really?
Wonderful.
Because?
Because he was my soulmate. He was there for me, and I was there for him all the time.
Yeah. And looking at your kids grow, how different was your parenting to your husband?
Well, my children, I think, took a lot and learnt a lot from what he was. The teacher. He was the teacher in the family. He used to always say to me, don't handle it like this. Don't do.
Because how did you handle it? What was your method of dealing?
My method was, if ever there was an argument, if it was a little battle, I used to say, I should let him win. When it was a big battle, that was my chance.
Because you came out with a bazooka.
Because when there were small battles, he used to deal with it. I used to let him deal with all the little stuff.
Yeah.
But when it was a big battle, then I had my say.
And what kind of parent would your kids describe you as?
I hope they describe me as a good parent. I don't know. I thought, I think I was a good parent.
Yeah. But were you the one?
I was always. I attended everyone. We both attended whatever thing, speech night, any sport activity that they went to do. There was always one of us or both of us going to attend that. And I think that makes a big difference. You develop a bond with your children by always being there for them.
Now, if you look back to now having grown kids who have their own children and have done really well in their careers, and you think about your role in helping them become whoever they're meant to be, how did you achieve that? What was your recipe in terms of seeing what talents they had or what careers they could take?
When they were young, I let them do whatever they wanted to do to try and find out where they were going, which path they were going to take. So if it was speech and rugby and netball or whatever it was, I let them do all of those things and then let them find their particular path. Because if you just say you're going to go and do speech or you are going to go and play rugby, that's not the way to do it. Let them find their own way. So I used to say, try soccer, try cricket, go do speech, go and do whatever you can, and then you choose what you would like to do. Sometimes it didn't work. They would come back to me and say, oh, I tried karate. My one son said, I took him to karate, and he said, I left karate because that boy threw me on the ground, and I did nothing to him. So he
But
says,
you were like, it's the whole point
and then
of
the guy, he says, and then the guy told me to pick up the guy and I must throw him. He said, I can't do that. He didn't do that to me.
Oh, really?
So
Oh, sweet.
They had to go and choose the path that they wanted to go on.
Yeah. Tell me about, if you were to think of your life now and what you have learned about the small things that don't matter. You are now in your 80s. You're at 83?
83.
83. What things don't matter anymore to you? That as a young, maybe 30-year-old Salome, those things mattered. And you look at me now, I'm 47. Am I 47? I'm 47, 1978, baby. What things are insignificant in your 80s?
You know, when you're growing up, you want to look beautiful. You want to have beautiful clothes. All of that doesn't matter. As long as I like to enjoy my food, that whatever's given to me, I will go and try. I don't have to diet. I just have to watch what I eat. As far as that's concerned, I don't have to have fantastic clothes. I just like to look nice and good, see that my hair's done. Not always the makeup, but yes. And it does matter that I do look okay. I don't want to look like a bag lady and walk out the house and not care how I look. But those things aren't important to me now.
If you see people focusing on things that don't matter, what do you think of that?
It upsets me. It upsets
Why?
me. Well, I've been there. I've done that. I've tried. I've spent a lot of time trying to be. It doesn't always work. You always try to be good, to try and put the best forward, and it doesn't always happen. And when you see people who try and push their children into doing something that they don't want to do, or trying to interfere in your children's marriage, and it upsets me. They've got to find their own path, and if they choose something that's not right, that's their problem. I didn't have anyone to guide me and say, you can't do this and you can't do that. You go and you find your own path, and you leave that for your children to sort out as well.
Yeah. Do you ever stop? I mean, I remember having this conversation with my mom, and I said to my mom, she wasn't happy about a decision I was making, and I said, Mom, come on. I'm over 40 now. Got a good job. My kids are well, and I'm actually doing okay. Can you stop seeing me as your child, that baby child? And she said, in my eyes, you will always remain a toddler. What do you think of that statement? Because I'm like, really?
I don't always think of my children as toddlers.
In the
but
sense of they
children
remain
will
your responsibility.
They are always your children. I always hope that if there's some sort of problem, that they will still come and say to me, Ma, what do you think I should do? I'll give my opinion, but I'll say, the choice is yours. You could go this way, you could go that way. My husband was very good at that sort of thing. He always had things in his mind. He could put things in boxes that were the right way. I couldn't actually do that. I could see, but not like he could. He was more the kind of person that could actually compartmentalize how things should be. But your children are always your children. They will never not be your children.
Do you ever stop worrying?
No, never.
But is that healthy? Because so I think naively, because my children are young still, I always think like, oh my God, maybe when they marry, I'll stop to worry.
No.
Are they safe? Are they okay? Have they eaten?
You don't have to say that to them. It's in the back of your mind that your children are your children. When they go out and they go on a trip somewhere, you worry that they're going to arrive, that they will their holiday be good? Will their marriage be good? You know, they choose a partner. I chose a partner, and my marriage was fantastic. And you think that when they meet this person, is this the person that they're going to marry? Is it? You worry, but it's not your choice.
So how do you keep your opinion to yourself as a parent? Because I've had conversations with some parents and like, oh, can you believe who my child is dating? And I think they're making a mistake. And I've tried to get through to them so they can see differently, but they are just stubborn. How do you do you share your opinion, or do you hold back and just give them love and support?
You don't harp on your opinion. You go to them, give them your opinion, but you say the choice is yours. You can't live your children's lives. You cannot live your children. They've got to. I lived my life. Our children have got to go and choose their partners, and let's hope and pray that they're chosen correctly. And it's their life. You give them guidance, but it's not your choice.
Okay.
It's not your choice. If they make a bad choice, that's not your choice.
Were there ever times when you and your husband had differing opinions about boyfriends and girlfriends, where maybe he liked the person and thought was good and you didn't think was good, or where you liked the person and he thought the opposite?
No.
So you judged in a similar way?
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about you and swimming. What was it about swimming that got you to connect and enjoy it and end up teaching swimming as a career?
My father was a Transvaal athlete. He ran in the gold rush in the 1920s or whatever you call it. He was at Parktown Boys, and he was chosen to go and run in the gold rush. When I was born, he taught me to run, but running wasn't my thing. He taught me to swim from a book. And
From a book?
Yes.
Okay.
Got his book, and he looked at the book, and he said, this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and he taught me to swim. And I started swimming at the competitively from the age of 5.
Really?
And I swam competitively. I went to the Maccabi Games at age 14. I don't know if I can tell you the story.
Of course you can.
I was chosen to go to the Maccabi Games, and my father was a bookmaker, a horse racing bookmaker.
Oh, I thought as in
No.
making books to read.
No, horse racing. Okay. And every Saturday, we were in Queenstown, and the Transkei and the Ciskei were all around us. Everybody used to come to the house. The guys from the Ciskei and Transkei, they used to come with their trucks, with their animals on the car back, and they used to listen to the races and place their bets. And anyway, my dad mentioned the one day that I'd been chosen to go to the games. I was 14. And he said he didn't know if I was going to be able to make it because it was an expense. There and then, everybody who was there put in their tickies and their sixpences, and that was how I managed to get my ticket to go to the Maccabi Games.
Wow.
All the people that had come from the little villages, they used to all come to the house. They used to sit and listen to the radio, and they put all the money together, and we got money for me to go to the Maccabi Games.
That's a beautiful story.
And
how did you perform at the
I
games?
got a second in the 220 yards breaststroke, and I got a third in the 100 yards butterfly.
And that was it for you?
Yeah,
You never left the swimming
that
pool?
record of the 100 butterfly was actually a South African record, but it couldn't be recognized because it wasn't in the country at the time. Anyway, and then I swam competitively, galas and what have you. I went to Teachers Training College in Grahamstown, which is part of Rhodes University, and I became a teacher, but I majored in physical education, netball, hockey, tennis, and what have you.
Yeah.
And then I went to go and teach, and after teaching for about 5 years, I decided, no, I was teaching kids at my house or at their homes or at school swimming, and I decided, no, I don't want to be a teacher, school teacher. I want to be a swimming teacher. And we just bought a house. My husband and I had just bought a house. My father said to me, buy a house in an area where there are young people, and you will have pupils.
To teach swimming.
Yes. So we bought a house, and my father gave me 2,000 rand to build a swimming pool.
What? And that was a lot of money then.
It was a lot of money then. He gave it to me as an overdraft in my bank account. And I built a swimming pool. And I was in a young area where there were a lot of young kids. And that was my start
That's
of my
how it
swimming.
started.
And I taught swimming for about 40 years in my house. Then one day I came home from Sunday, and there was an estate agent standing outside my house after 19 years of being in the house. And I said to my husband, "What's this?" He says, "I'm selling the house." I said, "Why?" He says, "The grass is too long, I can't cut it."
Oh, wow. That was it. Enough of a reason to go.
So I said, "Oh."
Was he always handy in the garden?
Yeah, no, he wasn't handy at all. He didn't even know how to use the lawnmower.
Oh, my
He says, "I can't cut the lawn." He says, "I've seen a townhouse that I like,
Yeah.
and I've put in an offer, and we said, we're selling this house." I was devastated. Anyway, I then built a pool.
Second time around.
Yeah,
building the
so we
pool.
sold the house.
Yeah, yeah,
Much
yeah.
to my anyway, and I then built a pool at Beaconsfield Club. Now, prior to that, I kept on saying to my husband, "Water's an amazing thing. Water's amazing." He said to me, "What do you mean?" I said, "When you're in the water, your body's firm. There's something magic about water." So I started sending letters to all the people that I knew all overseas. And I said to them, "There's got to be something that's magic about water." And Joel's cousin, who's a doctor at Duke University in Durham in North Carolina, sent me a message to say, "There's going to be the very first water aerobics conference in the world in Chicago." He said, "I'll send you the particulars and see if you can go." And I went, and I qualified as an aqua instructor, came to South Africa,
Sure.
and another lady and I formed an association called SOFA, the South African Water Fitness Association. And at Beaconsfield Club, I approached the club and I said, "You've got some ground. I need a pool." So I built a porta pool, because I didn't know if water aerobics would take off. A round pool, which we put halfway into the ground, and I taught water aerobics, and then I built a pool, a long pool, 20...
Using your own money.
Yes. 12 and a half meters, a home-sized pool, basically.
Okay,
So
okay.
I had a water aerobics pool, a round
Yeah,
pool, which
yeah.
eventually, from everybody tramping on it, it got holes in it, at which stage my pool was built, and I was teaching swimming and water aerobics. And I ran courses from all the videos that I got from America. I went and I did a couple of courses teaching, and then I decided water aerobics not for me. It's only swimming.
What gave you the bravery to take those chances, to build the swimming pool, to approach the municipal guys and say, "I need that"? Because a lot of times people have negative thoughts that come in the way of that bravery or the conviction or the gut.
I just knew that water was the way to go. I just knew. Water was in my blood. I mean, I had been swimming since I was 5. And this was it. And because Beaconsfield Club was close to where I lived, and to this, my dad said, "Find a place where there are schools." There was Jan Celier and all the Afrikaans schools, and there was the Catholic school and the Jewish day school, and they were all within the area of where I'd built the pool.
Wow.
It didn't enter my head that it wouldn't be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Never entered my head.
Yeah.
And then one day, one of the swimming teachers came to me and she said to me, "There's a gala on Saturday. You've got to come to this gala." So I said, "I haven't swum in 40 years. I'm not coming." So she said to me, "I'm not taking no for an answer. We need a 4th for our relay race, and you're coming." And she sat outside my townhouse and wouldn't leave and was hooting like crazy. And eventually I went.
How old were you at this point?
Oh, I hadn't taught for 40 years. I suppose I was about 60, in my 60s.
Sure. And you were invited to participate as a
Yes.
swimmer.
Yes, in the master swimming.
Yeah.
So I got into her car and we go to Ellis Park. And at Ellis Park, she said to me, "Don't you want to warm up? You can do a race." So I said, okay, I'll do a breaststroke race. And I swam a 50 meters breaststroke. And the guy leant over at the pool and he looked at me and he said, how many timekeepers have we got on your lane? I said, I don't know. He said, you need 3. If you would have had 3, you would have broken the Transvaal record for the 50 breaststroke.
What?
I said, nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it started lightning and thundering and the storm started. They said, gala cancelled. We'll do it next week. So next week I went.
Okay, and now you are in the right mind
Now,
state. Now
yes,
you've decided
yes.
to
Now,
do
I haven't
this.
swum in 40 years.
But bring it on.
I'm going to go and swim. And I swam the 50 and I broke
You
the
broke
record.
the record.
Yes.
How
And then I
incredible.
joined the club.
Yeah.
And I started swimming competitively. And then I started going to a master's
In
swimming.
your 60s, Salome.
60s and 70s. Masters is done every 5 years. Swim in your age group every 5 years.
Yeah.
60 to 64.
Yeah.
65 to 69. So, you swim in every 5 years.
Yeah.
So I swam. And every year I would get my medals and go and swim.
That's beautiful. I want us to talk about you teaching young children to swim.
Oh, I love them.
So what's the youngest child you've taught to swim? What's the youngest age?
Try not to teach younger than 3.
Okay.
But sometimes the little 2.5-year-olds have got older siblings and they like the water. And so I've taught a couple of 2-year-olds, 2.5-year-olds, and they're just the cutest because they can't say my name.
What do they call you when they
They
feel?
call me Ayomi.
I know you taught my son, Gushe, to swim, and you were telling me, what kind of student was he? You were telling me.
I think he wanted to teach me how to teach him to swim. Yeah.
He had a lot of instructions to give you.
Yes, and he kept on telling me that was too far. I must make it shorter.
How do you deal with kids who don't take instructions well? Because I can imagine some just don't. Either they don't understand you or they are afraid, even when you're there, to support them.
You've got to tell them that whatever you say, if you make a promise, your promise is your promise. If I say I'm going to stand here and I'm going to hold you, they know. If I say I'm not going to let you go, I won't let you go. If I want to let them go, and you can feel when they're ready. You know, when you're holding them, you can feel. And I can
How
say
do you feel? What's that feeling? Can you describe it?
It's a feeling where their body is just ready. It just wants to go. And I say to them, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to be standing right next to you. I've got a finger that I will touch you if I see that you're not going to go. And I'm right there. And they know, because in the beginning when you start with them, if you make them a promise, they know that is your promise. And they trust me. Trust is the most important thing in swimming. I've never thrown a child into the water.
Never.
Never.
What do you say to parents who believe that when you throw them in, that's the best way for them to...
Psychologically, it's not good for them. I've had to deal with children who've been thrown into the water, and then they are petrified after that. I've got to get over this whole nervousness of they're petrified. I had one child who put his feet on my shoulders and his bum on my head. And he said to me, I'm drowning. I said, where are you? And he looked around and he said, I'm not even in the water.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's how deep the psychological impact was.
Yes.
What insane. And what did you say to the parents? Do you ever give
the parents said to me, they said to me, we thought this was the right way to go. Then I had another child whose father told him, you can swim. So I said, okay. So he came and got into the water, and he said, don't hold me.
The child said, don't hold me.
He said, my dad told me I can swim. So he jumped in, and he went onto the bottom, and I picked him up, and he said, I'm doing it. He said, let me go. I let him go, and he went back down to the bottom, and he said, I'm doing it. And I picked him up, and afterwards I said, that was amazing. You were so good. You were doing it.
What was the doing it?
He was doing nothing. But his dad told him he could swim. So then I encouraged him. I said to him, you were doing it. Now can I just help you a little bit more, because Daddy told you can do it. Now I need to just help you because Daddy told you can swim. Now I need to teach you how to do it properly.
And what did the child say to that?
He said, okay.
And how long did it take?
He learned to swim pretty quickly.
So what do you think the
You've got to
dad
get-
achieved by saying
Yes.
that to the child?
The child didn't know that he couldn't swim, and that he was scared he was going to be nervous, but he got rid of his nervousness. You've got to get into their head.
Yeah.
You've got to talk to them, and you've got to talk to them nicely, and you've got to get into their head and explain everything.
Yeah.
I also had one child
I love these stories.
who never, ever got into the water. He was in a class with another child, and I taught
How
the class.
old was this child?
I think he was about 5 or 6,
Okay.
maybe 6, 7.
What do you mean he never got into
He
the
never
water?
got into the water
What do
at
you
my
mean?
pool. No, he used to come and he used to sit and he used to say, I'm learning. And he used to sit there and he used to watch the lesson. And then he used to go home and he used to say to his mum, watch me. I'm doing what Salome told me. The mother used
would
to,
he do it correctly?
well, more or less, but
Yeah,
he tried.
but he
Then he used to
tried.
come back and his mother used to say, he did try, but he didn't do this and this. Then I would work on that with the other child.
So that he
that he could
learns
observe,
by
and then-
observing. Those are incredible insights. What do you see being a difference between the way that boys approach swimming, young boys and young girls? Is there a difference that is perhaps
Boys seem to think that they are braver, but you handle them the same. There's no difference.
and the girls show up? How do the girls show up?
Girls seem to catch on quicker, but after a couple of lessons, they all get to
Equalize.
they all get to the same level.
So what do you say to the idea that boys are born more confident to take risks versus girls?
No.
In as far as you see in
I
the
don't
swimming
see it.
pool.
I don't see
You don't see it at all.
No.
What makes the difference in terms of equalizing
You-
them? What is the fundamental essence
I
that would
treat-
define performance?
I treat boys and girls exactly the same. Exactly. I never say to them, this girl can do this and this boy can do that or this. I always say, you know what? It doesn't matter how badly they are swimming. They swim to their ability. So when a child swims, you can't say that she was better than you. I'll always praise and say, you did that beautifully. It might not be as beautiful as the other one, but to his ability or her ability, that was great. So encouraging is most... I can't say, oh, that was rubbish. That'll destroy the child in 2 seconds. So if I tell them to put their face in and blow bubbles, this one might put the face right down, blow bubbles, I'll say, great. And then this one might just blow bubbles with just the mouth. That was great. And then encourage them. I'll say, now this time I want you to go a little bit deeper. And so on.
How do you teach grown-ups who are afraid of...
Grown-ups are so hard to teach.
They are? Why?
Because you've got to spend half the lesson getting their head right. To say to them, it depends. If a person can swim and loves the water as a grown-up, I can work with them. If it's a person that's petrified, it's very difficult.
Do you know what makes it difficult for me? I struggle to put my head underwater.
That's it.
And I struggle with, for some reason, the anxiety for me is to get to the end and to feel a boundary wall I can touch. When I'm in the middle of the water and there's no boundary wall to give me a sense of security.
If you can put your face in the water, you can swim. If you can't, I don't know if I should be saying this.
Say it.
A lot of people, children, don't bath. They bath in a little bit of water and they don't put their faces into the water. They even wash in a basin.
Yeah.
So when they wash their faces. They don't put their face down into the water. Once you can put your face in, then you're okay. I find a lot of children, a lot of adults can't blow bubbles. That's also the be-all and end-all of swimming.
What do you think?
You don't hold your breath when you walk
No.
or when you run.
Yeah.
So when you breathe in, when you put your face in the water, you blow bubbles. Breathe out. You lift up your head, you breathe in, you breathe out.
In your experience, what do you think is the biggest reason why people get tense in the water?
Because their parents tell them, water's dangerous, you're going to drown.
Instead
That's
of saying
the
what?
biggest problem. People always say, you go to, put a fence around. Don't let your child near the water. Your child this, be careful. You're conveying all of this to the child.
What should we rather be saying?
You've got to say, there's a swimming pool. You can go up, feel the water, put your child on their tummy, let them paddle their hands, and then say, okay, that's enough. Don't say, water's dangerous. You've scared your child from the very, very beginning. And also, a lot of people do not know how to wash their face, basically. They just take water, splash their face, that's washed.
What's to wash the face?
You must put your face in the water, splash it, get your whole face wet. A lot of kids don't like washing their hair. They don't like putting their head back.
Balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there was ever a thing, let's get back to being married.
Okay.
If there was ever, is there a lesson that has been important for you that you learned in your marriage?
Whatever decisions were made, we made that together. If my son would come and say, I want to go and play rugby. I didn't like the idea of playing rugby. I would say, Daddy and I will discuss it, and we will come and talk to you. We will discuss it. We'll talk. Or else we'll have a meeting, the three of us. Let's get together. Let's talk. At supper table, we always ate dinner together, and we always said, tell us what you did at school today. Tell us what happened today. And each child had a chance to talk. And you have to be together. You have to just make decisions together.
Yeah.
Often the decisions that were made together were not what I thought were right.
Yeah.
But it was a decision that you made together.
Yeah. And how do you deal with people who share too much about what's going wrong in their marriages, with whether it is with the friends or these days even on Facebook, people post things about what's going on in their marriages. As Salome, what would you say is to be done by people who behave that way?
Not right.
It's not right.
Not right. No. It's not yours. It's not up to you to make the decision for your children once they are married. It's up to them. It's their life. If they come to you and they want to know your opinion, you can do that.
But if you take your own struggles in my marriage and I go and talk about it as I hang out with my girls or in the office, and I'm like, guys, here's what's going on. Oh my God, I'm struggling with this. What do you think of that behavior?
I don't think it's right.
Why?
Because I think that if you've got a problem, it's not your friend's problem. And it's not, they can give you advice and it might be the incorrect advice. It might not be what your heart actually feels you should be doing. You should sit down and think about it and work it out in your head the way you want to, because their decision is not your decision. You've got to have, it's you. You can. I like to take a piece of paper and say pros and cons, and you write down your pros and you write down your cons and see.
Yeah.
If you have a particular friend that has the same views as you, you could say, I've decided this, what do you think? But not a group. I don't know.
How do you deal with gossip?
Don't like it.
You don't like it? How do you feel when you are sitting with friends who like to gossip or with people who are gossiping about others?
I don't say anything. I try and hold my mouth. I try and hold my mouth. It's not right. It's not you. It's not up to you.
And
you can know that somebody's husband's having an affair or something. I don't think No. You'll go to that person and say, I know your husband's having an affair. She will hate you for it. She will not believe you. It's not up to you.
Yeah, yeah. Have you lost friends along the way because you didn't agree with how they were living their life or how they were impacting your life? No. What was the secret to keeping friends for a long time?
You know what? My friends are my friends. We go out together. You have a meal. You discuss a movie. You can talk about what your kids are doing. If I think that my friend is not bringing up her child properly, that's not my responsibility. If she says, I said to, this and this is happening at school, they must handle it. It's not up to me, and I don't think, I could put in an opinion, but I can say this is my opinion, but I don't know if you must sit down, think about it, and it's not my responsibility.
What's the longest friendship you've had? How many years?
What's the
longest friendship you've had? How many years has it last?
In my marriage,
or as Salome, just on your own?
Since my marriage, all the friends that we've made and had, from the time we got married till now, I've still got.
Really?
Yeah. Except the ones that have died.
Of course. Have you lost a few?
Yes.
And how do you deal with that loss?
Well, I found my loss has been hard. Very hard. Because he was there. He was always there. I was never alone. And now I had to get going. So when my friends lose somebody and they say, oh, she's going to have such a hard time, I say, yes, you've got to go through it. But I think that my life and my hardship was very hard.
Yeah. How did you adjust to moving to an old age home? I know you're now.
I made up my mind that I had to go.
How long did it take you to decide?
Within weeks of my husband passing. It was too lonely to stay in a flat. You walk into your flat, you close the door, you could drop dead, they wouldn't know that you were alive or dead in a block of flats. And I made up my mind that if I moved into a retirement place, there's always people around. And you walk out your door and there's people walking in the road and it's, hello, how are you? Oh, you've just moved here, how are you doing? There's a walking group. You join the walking group. I went to join the gym group. You sit on a chair and you do exercises on a chair.
Are you teaching them to
No,
swim?
no.
You must have to start a class.
But you know what? There's always somebody there.
Yeah.
When you go to bed at night, you're alone. That's okay. But if I want to, I can just walk out the door and I can go into there's a little coffee shop. I can go into the coffee shop and there's somebody sitting there. I'll say, do you mind if I join you? Oh, yes, come sit down.
Do you think you could meet somebody and have a relationship now at this age? Because people say you can never say no when you meet somebody.
I'm not ready yet. If there's somebody that I would see that I might like, would go and have a cup of coffee with, but there's nobody that I would at this stage. I would not. I wouldn't like another marriage.
Yeah.
Another friendship, maybe.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
But no.
What's the one indulgence that's been your thing from childhood to now? Is it, a fragrance that you just have loved, or is it a whatever? What's your one thing that you've loved from when you were young to now? And
chocolate.
Is it?
Chocolate.
Really?
Chocolate.
What kind of chocolate?
Any dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Any chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm diabetic.
Okay.
Very slightly diabetic.
Yeah.
And I went to the diabetic clinic and I said to the doctor, I said, after dinner, I have to have a chocolate. He said, you're doing fine. Have your chocolate.
Yeah.
I've been a chocoholic.
Chocoholic.
I love chocolate.
Yeah.
But I love sport. That's been my thing also
all through your life. Yeah. Do you find that the more older you get, the more aware you become of who you are?
Yes.
The things that make you you.
Yes.
Who would you say Salome is at this age? What are the three things that you know you definitely are?
I don't know how to answer that question. Pose it again.
So you said you are very clear and you've been clear of who you are and how you would describe yourself. And I'm saying, what are the 3 things that you would say, anywhere you go, this is me, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and I'm clear that I'm that, more now in my older years than perhaps earlier.
You need to have 2 or 3 friends that you can always count on. You
So you have friends you can count
Yes,
on,
I've
you
got
know
you.
that.
You need to have 2
Yeah.
or 3 friends that you can always count on, that you can phone and say, how was your day today, or whatever. Always there. I need to have my sport. I need to get into the water and feel the water around me. I need to have that.
Nice.
The 3rd thing, I need to eat healthy. You
Good.
need to eat healthy.
And you prepare your own meals. You got to cook
Yes,
in the kitchen.
yes.
Yeah.
I've got to just tell you, I went to Australia with my son,
Yeah.
and he woke me up in the morning. He said, we were going swimming with all my friends,
Yeah.
and he said, do you want to come? I said, yes, I'll come. So he gets into the car, and we get to the pool, and there are all these big macho men, and he says, this is my mom. So they look at him and they say, do we have to look after your mother?
They didn't know you are.
He said, just
Like,
leave her.
watch her swim.
He said, just leave her alone.
Yes.
She's fine.
Oh, and you swam with them.
Yeah, I swam
Were
with
they
them.
surprised to see you in the
Ye-
water,
yes.
confident, knowing what you're doing?
We got into the sea, and we were
Or
swimming.
was
up.
it the ocean you were
Yes,
swimming
we swam
in?
in the sea, and
Yeah.
then after we swam in the sea, they said, okay, you can come tomorrow.
Oh, that's beautiful. You must have been so proud of yourself.
I was proud. I think he was
You
also
were so
proud of me.
of Mama.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. What do you think about people who think they should be able to control what goes on in their lives? Is there ever a thing you can control in your life?
No, you've got to take one day at a time, put one foot in front of the other, wake up in the morning, get on with your life. It's not easy, not easy. The night time is the worst time. You go to bed, wake up in the morning, and you can't complain. People hate complainers. You've got to get up. How was your day today? Great. Fine. How are you doing? I'm all right. Even if you're not.
Yeah.
Even if you're not.
Yeah.
Put a smile on your face. Get up and go.
Yeah.
Even if you've got nowhere to go. Get into your car. Go to the shops. Go and buy a loaf of bread. Whatever. You might meet somebody. I talk to everybody at the shops. One lady yesterday said to me, so you're about 60, are you? So I said, no, I'm 83. And there was a woman next to me said to me, do you know this lady? I said, no, I've never seen her before. I was chatting to everybody. I talked to everybody.
Yeah.
I once went with my daughter to Queenstown in the Eastern Cape. And I was walking around. Everybody that I saw was, hello, hello. She said, I'm not coming to town with you again. You talk to everybody.
So one last question. So we could go on and on and on
you
in
have
our
to.
conversation. Yeah. I want to ask you about forgiveness. Do you find are there things you have struggled to forgive?
Yes.
What kind of things do you struggle to forgive?
I struggle to forgive. One person didn't do a nice thing to me, and I really struggled. Cut them out my life.
Moved on.
I'm done. Done with that person. If there's something that somebody has said to me that I don't like, I say, I'm not happy with that.
And do you find it easy to...
I try and be nice to everybody. You know, I mean, try.
You try.
I try.
And do you find it easy to apologize when you've done something
Yes.
wrong?
If I've done something wrong, if I've hurt you, if I've said something that's nasty, it takes a while for me to say sorry. But I will eventually get it into my head to say, I need to go and say sorry.
What advice would you give me, who is 47, about how I should be approaching the next years of my life if I'm blessed to live long? What 3 things maybe could you say Nontokozo must think about, do differently, or be?
Think before you leap.
What does it mean?
before you make a decision, a big decision, think it through properly. Make your own decisions. Don't listen to other people who can decide you must do this. It's not up to them. It's your life. You must get up, think it through, make your own decisions. Bring up your children, and when they want to leave home, have your say, but don't interfere. Eat healthy.
Eat healthy.
And do exercise. Walk.
Yeah. What's been the most beautiful thing about getting old?
People look at me and say, just look how you look. You're doing well. Whether I'm doing well or not, they look at me and they say, yes, you're doing well. And it makes me feel good.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's Cheers to Failure with Salome. How was that? We're done. You were just getting on. Just like that. We're done. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
How did you feel?
I've so enjoyed this morning.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I have loved it.
Oh, thank you for trusting me. This was such a gift.
I've got to tell you a story. I know
Tell
it's got to relate with my swimming.
Okay, tell it.
I had this one little boy, came to swimming. His mother was the most beautiful woman. Afrikaans, blonde hair. She came with this little boy. She said his name is VJ. VJ. He screamed at the top of his voice. I had to put cotton wool in my ears. He screamed. Anyway, I finally got him into the water and I taught him to swim.
How old was VJ?
I think he was 7.
Okay.
Anyway, the one day, the dad comes to swimming. He's old, very old. He's like a grandpa. So I said in Afrikaans, did grandpa enjoy the lesson? And he looked at me and he said, I'm the dad. I'm not the grandpa. And I could tell you who the person is. VJ. His father was Prime Minister. His brother. VJ.
Oh my God. How long ago was this?
Long.
What year was this estimate?
It was one of my first years at Beaconsfield Club. I can't remember. De Klerk. Do you know De Klerk?
Yes.
VJ de Klerk.
What? So you've taught everybody in 4 years.
And I said to him, did Grandpa enjoy the lesson? And he said, no, I'm the dad. And he was de Klerk's,
I love it.
de Klerk's brother.
I love it.